I ain't seen a whole lot of my day, but I'll tell you one thing I know. I ain't really been around a whole lot, but I'll tell you one thing I know. I don't really know a whole lot, but let me tell you one thing I do know.
Hello, it's Gavin on the No Sports Sense podcast.
No sports sense.
Nice. I'm opening with my co-host,
Hank?
That's right, Gavin and Hank, here to navigate you through the muddy waters of the sports world, Bill. Now, there's a lot of talk about, I want to start off the show today with, the Green Bay Packers and what they're been able to do these past 4 weeks.
Well, first, what we see is that the Packers themselves have been attending meetings with their coach McCarthy, and they're talking about actually going out there and changing the football direction. Aaron Rodgers is going to be throwing the ball not at like it's going to throw it horizontally.
Oh, I see what you're saying there. Well, I've seen some critics say that they think this is a non-applicable strategy because it's going to disturb the rest of the league.
Well, what he's actually doing is not breaking any of the rules, and he's actually being able, he did that in the final play of the Chicago Bears Green Bay Packer game, where he threw a 60-yard pass to Jordy Nelson, set it up for the field goal. He actually threw that ball horizontally, and so that the seams were facing away from him, and it was more the ball was more aerodynamic, and
right.
that's what won the game. First and foremost, Gavin.
I agree with that. Now, with their 4-game streak, it seems like it is possible that they will make the playoffs. Now, that's not really what I want to talk about the fact that people are saying that the fucking Cleveland Browns can't make the playoffs, which I say is bullshit. I mean, as far as I can see, they got a good RPI and a good return on investment.
I think, listen, first and foremost, they've got Robert Griffin III at quarterback. Now, this is a Heisman-level quarterback. This guy cannot just throw the ball, he can run the ball. He's getting out there, he's making a difference in the game, and that's what's going to take him to the playoffs.
So you don't think the win-loss ledger has anything to do with playoff success?
People get so hung up on how many games you've won and how many games you haven't won. That doesn't matter when it comes to the playoffs. This is the big leagues. This is the big boys.
Right.
He's out there. He's running hard on the field. He's got all the straps on his helmet glued on solid. His shoes are tied. He's out there playing football. Simple
as that,
straightforward football. Mm-hmm. That's what wins games. That's what makes championships.
Well, and that's when you're saying those fans are getting hung up on that. I personally think that those people adding to the dialogue should just go watch the TV show Hung, because they should go get hung up on that.
I agree with you there too, Gavin. I think that first and foremost, if you're getting hung up on bullshit, then you're not even looking at the full. Look, there's more than stats.
Look at the big
football.
picture, for God's sake.
This is a game about balls.
This is a game about yards and the gridiron and the pigskin. We don't need to be throwing wins and losses in the columns talking about, don't come in at lecturing me. I'm looking at the big old game of football.
That's right. There's 22 balls per team on the field at one time. 2 balls per man with an extra ball in the center. If you got the ball in offense, that's 23 balls on your team that you can get inside the end zone. So honestly, I think that should account for, at least an extra 22 points per touchdown.
I hope this doesn't sound too rhetorical, but let me ask you this, Hank. Back in my day, when you threw a football and he caught it in the end zone, it counted as a touchdown, right?
That's right. Damn straight.
What's going on in the modern world of football? They don't count. You tell me that can't make the playoffs? Hell, I'll go on Twitter and roast every single hot take artist out there.
That's right. I think what you need to do is you get the ball in the end zone, and that's all the team's done this year. Mm-hmm. What more do you want?
What more do you want?
They're out there wearing the brown outfit, wearing the orange outfit. That's a fact. Here's another fact. They have a team in Cleveland. That's a fact. That's all you need to take you to the big league. That's all you need to play on the big stage.
The Cavs made it. The Indians made it. And actually, by what I've heard, the Indians actually won if you're watching the right channel.
I've seen it. I saw it when I was there. They won.
Now, even if you don't believe it, facts are facts. And that's 2 out of 3. And you're willing to sit here and tell me on my porch that all 3 professional teams in Cleveland ain't their year? Get out of here with that nonsense, Bill. I'm the kind of guy that looks at facts. I'm the kind of guy that looks and projects things that are going to probably happen.
There's a lot of intangibles in this league. There's a lot of intangibles in sports in general. And there's a lot of hope inside the city of Cleveland right now. There's a lot of excitement. After they won the past 2 championships, there is a buzz in the air. They feel that they really can take the Super Bowl ring home.
They don't even need alcohol in the city anymore because they're so fucking buzzed off these championships. You give them one more title, hell, move them to the coast.
That's right. They got rid of bars. Actually, Robert Griffin Jr. III actually opened up his own bar inside Cleveland when he moved to Cleveland from Washington, and then he closed it down a week later because they didn't need to because the Cleveland Indians won the World Series because they were so buzzed. He said, "I'm going to close this business down."
And just for let's try to segue into a little bit of college football. I think it's firmly established that we think, more than likely, the Browns are going to win the title. If they don't, it's going to be act of God. Now, college playoffs are concerned, as far as I could tell, the Electoral College still has a chance to vote Nebraska into the playoffs.
Absolutely. I think there's still a fighting chance for them. And look, this was a team that went out there and played at Memorial Stadium.
They competed.
That's the big stage. That's my argument here, is they played on the big stage in front of thousands of people. Now, if that doesn't get them in the college football playoff, I don't even know what I don't know what criteria that this Electoral College is even looking for anymore. They're out there with red ends on their helmets. They're throwing balls. They're touching balls. There's other guys hitting other guys right there on the field.
Well, and as a matter of fact, I went in the locker room and I saw them putting on their pads themselves. There's so many teams that have these sissy fairies putting on their pads for them. As far as I'm concerned, you shouldn't be eligible for the playoffs if you have somebody else put on your pads. We are true, honest, corn-blooded fucking Huskers. We put on our pads. We get out there. We compete. We put in the sweat equity. And next thing you know, we're going to be, I don't know if we're going to win the title this year, Bill, because a lot of things can happen when we face the Michigan Roofers. But it is going to be a hell of a championship game.
But the Scotland Homeless are going to be there. They're going to be there. They've won 13 games this postseason already, and I really think that they're going to drive home. They're bringing their big cleats. They're bringing the big shoes out there this weekend, and I just feel that it's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Not everything in sports is guaranteed, but there's one thing I do know, and the prostication I can tell you is this: Cleveland Browns will be the championship fucking winners of the NFL this season.
And I believe that the Alabama Syphilis will be also winning the Super Bowl this year too.
Well, who's to say that Nebraska couldn't compete in the Super Bowl?
I honestly think that since they're out there competing at such a level and they have expertise at the highest level, and the facility itself is world class, they should be considered at least.
They have the facilities, they have the coaching, they have the scouts. There's no committee that can tell me or my football program when and where and how we want to play.
Absolutely, Bill. I think what we're going to be seeing is a change in paradigm where we're actually going to see a cross contamination between not just college and pro, but we're also going to see not just NBA into the NFL. Right. We're going to be seeing politics in the NFLs too. We'll be seeing Hillary Clinton receiving a touchdown pass from Richard Nixon.
And from what I hear, all the top curlers in the Olympics are considering migrating to and fro the NFL just to see if they can dip their toe in, see what kind of dilution they can provide.
They're going to take the water right out of diving. It's just going to be right. You're going to get more spins. You're going to have a little more time to do more tricks, and it's going to be a little bit better for the viewer.
Well, thank you, Hank. This has been Hank and Gavin on the Sports Sense Podcast, bringing you your updates, bringing tomorrow's updates to you today.
Nice.
The nice thing about that